Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the new space for my home yoga practice. And I'm getting to even hear my voice in this room, which apparently is a little echoey. So that'll be something that I will work on. But it is good to be here. I'm Belinda, and we're with Just Be Yoga, a yoga community outreach here in Lansing, Michigan, coming to you via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Welcome to our home yoga practice live, where we explore and encourage ourselves to find our personal home yoga practice in our space. So, speaking of space, right? It's like, oh, okay, I had to really conceive of something about space and where I would be. So, feel free to, first of all, comment and let me know that you're here if you are. And maybe, any questions or anything you'd like to share about making a space. Um, if you know me at all and have followed our practice at all over the years, you know that I'm not about trying to create some sort of spa like experience with our yoga. But we do want to have some mindful attention to, is it clean? Is it open enough of a space for you? How does your spirit feel within it? And I will let you know that a part of the reason that I made a change, my personal practice, I was fine actually in my living room. I have a lot of space and I really don't mind that, my dog and my cats might come and visit me. I chose to do this space because of the dog and cat space, and I wanted to close a door. So I brought it into this space. I also thought that I might encounter a little bit of less outdoor noise. I'm near kind of a busy road. And lately, all of the lawnmowers have also been out and about. So I wanted to have a space that I felt like, I could bring that attention within. Um, so, with that in mind, I think that I'll let space and spaciousness be kind of the focal point, at least for my practice today. And you certainly are welcome to find your own. I'm going to get started now. Please feel free if you'd like to be sitting on a block or a cushion or a chair. Find a space of sitting that's comfortable for you. Maybe your legs are extended out in front of you, maybe not. I had a little bit of blue sage lit, and I think I just want a little bit more Palo Santo. I really hadn't had many of my essences this morning because, quite honestly, I was moving a bunch of stuff around trying to get stuff ready for our time together. So I'm going to find a comfortable cross-legged space. Finding my spine aligned. And actually, I think I will use the wall today and let my back, oh yeah, and my shoulders rest against the wall, drawing in that support for myself. Checking in with my physical body, which is really quite weary. I did a lot of lawn work and some more moving of big items this weekend, as well as my own practice. So body's a little achy. What's beautiful about using a wall for this upright sitting space is that you may find that you can sit a little longer. Your body has that support and your spine gets accustomed to, oh, that's that lift. Now, the downside is that the core isn't really doing a lot with that. Eyes could be open or closed. I'm not going to start today with any sort of specific breath other than bringing an awareness to my breath. feeling it enter my nostrils, going down my windpipe into my lungs, feeling it leave my body. I'll lengthen my arms up, breath in, feeling the container that is holding me of my flesh and my bones. And I'm going to start to just reflect on spaciousness. How spacious am I feeling in my armpits, my shoulders, my ribs? How am I receiving that spacious feeling? Do I want it? Does my body yearn for it? Does my spirit yearn for it? Am I listening? And whether you're leaning on a wall or not, we'll bring one arm over and lengthen the other side with it. Now, if you are against a wall, feel free to just lean your body, your shoulder blades and your back against the wall, even your head, and accept that support. And you'll start to notice gradual opening or fighting going on in our hips, our side body, breath. And I'll gradually bring myself back up and lengthen up and over, to the other side. Not in any hurry. So please feel free. I'm always going to make suggestions about pausing, stopping, according to you. My intention behind this share of this practice online is to get us accustomed to starting to move to the rhythm of our own spirit. Being willing to explore, could I do one more breath? Is that what I want? Is that what I need? And being contented with, okay, I gave that a try and that worked. Or I gave that a try and it felt weird. Or I felt self-conscious. All of those are elements towards starting to create and be inside of our own practice. Practicing existing in our own skin and flesh and bones. Practicing existing in our own breath. So I'm going to breathe in and sweep the arms up. See if I can match my movement with the breath. Exhale, bringing the arms down through the midline. I'm going to close my eyes as I continue breathing in, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, letting that breath descend within, spacious, airy, full of possibility. That's what starts to come to my mind. Full of capacity. Starting to explore a pace that's our own. Again, observing our own reaction to our own self-pacing. Or at least our own attempts at switching a pace. And I'll bring my legs out in front of me. Just saying good morning to the body. I'm going to turn sideways now. I'm going to clear some fleshy bits out from under me. Point and flex. I'm just waking up my body. Working the neck at the same time. And inquire of my flesh and my bones. How are you? Gentle spinal twist. Lifting the chest. Revolve. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in, breath out. Now gradually release, coming around to the other side. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, twisting. I'm going to see if I can deliberately let my tummy relax and let it just protrude with breath. Moving, flexing, folding and rolling. Letting the spaciousness of air and volume just enter my inner body, my inner terrain. And I'll release. I'm just going to walk my upper body forward. Now, if you want to use a strap or a towel, feel free. I'm just going to have a nice relaxed version here. As a morning practice, I tend to be a little slower, a little bit more gradual about going into any depth of lengthening or stretch. Filling up the tummy with breath. I'm feeling my low back here. I started to buckle the knees a little bit because the hamstring said not quite yet. So I'm just bringing in that mindful practice. Listening to my body, listening to my spirit. And then I'll bring myself back up. Breath in and left. Exhale it forward. A little bit of flow now. Breathing in, rolling the spine up. Yet again, you find a pace that's yours. Exhaling it forward. Bringing that spaciousness into our movement. What does that mean? How do we feel spaciousness in the hips as they move? How do we bring spaciousness into the spinal column as it moves? And just envision yourselves embodying, spaciousness. It's kind of an interpretive dance, I guess. When we start to combine mind with body and just let mind and body work together, we're not imposing or commanding ourselves. I'll bring my chest up. I'm going to bend my right knee, wrap my left arm around it. Right hand is behind, maybe on a block, giving a little additional support. Breath in, lifting the chest. Exhale, revolve. Do I feel space as the spine is rotating? And let's be careful that we're not judging space by amount. Any amount of movement is space. And let's observe our reaction to whatever movement was accessible to us. Did we greet it with kindness? The first yama in the first limb, the yamas are the do nots. So no harming, no harmful thought, no violent thought. Now release. The longer we held that, I could really feel my low back close to my sacrum. I really rely on the strength of my thighs in this area of my body. So I feel like I put too much demand on it, and I can feel it talking to me now. It's grateful that I have listened. I'm going to wrap my right arm around my left leg. Breath in, lift the chest, exhale, twist. Now, sometimes I like to do a transition in between this twist. So I could have done the forward bend there, or maybe a butterfly. Start to feel out, what feels good as a way to get ready for finding the balance. Rather than, I just did side A, I must do side B. That is not the truth of the matter. We're here to listen to the truth of the matter inside our own body. Breath in, remember spaciousness. Breath out. And I'll slowly release, coming forward. I'm going to lengthen both legs out. I'm going to bring these legs together now. I'm doing a slight inward rotation of these inner thighs, and that encourages the sacrum to start to pull apart and get a nice lengthening in the low back. I've already said my low back was talking to me. I want to squeeze these thighs, giving a solid rooted base, and pull chin and chest forward. I'm just going to let my neck go. My toes are still flexed. My ankle is still flexed, so that the backs of the legs, the back of the calves, the back of the hamstrings, so squeezing those thighs, are giving me that anchoring. I'm bringing that intention. I'm also not allowing these inner thighs to roll out. I'm bringing that intention to actively engage in my legs. And I'm certainly confronted with a little less space than if I let these legs go. But I get to sit and breathe and be aware of the space that's available in this action. Do I rebel against not getting the amount of space that I want? Or can I practice another part of the second limb, santosha, contentment? Breath in, breath out. Still practice non-harming, so don't seize those muscles so much that everything is screaming at us. And then roll the spine up. Within our yogic practice, we're always trying to find that sattva, that balance, that equilibrium, right? So we can't over push or become so lethargic. We're finding out what's that balance. And there's a balance in our mind. Is our mind over pushing? Or is our mind checked out? Meh. Is your usual practice one where you're used to saying, oh, I thought my yoga should be me checking out? No, we don't want to check out. We actually want to check in a bit. I'm going to become a little bit more active. I feel like my spine, my back got to get a little bit of something. We did some twisting. I worked my side body. So I think I'd like to do a few sun salutations, warm things up, see how the motor is running this morning. So I'm going to come to hands and knees. I'm going to start with just a few cat and cows. Oh, and I'm going to slow down here. Tilting the tailbone up, lifting the gaze, stretching out the throat and the neck. Exhaling, rounding the spine, rocking that tailbone under. I'm going to really engage into using the arms, pushing down with the arms. Breathing in, arching and lifting. Exhaling around. I'm going to tuck my toes, lift my hips up and back, downward facing dog. Softening my shoulders away from my ears. I'm going to pedal these heels up and down. My toes are cracking. Started to adjust into sandals. I don't know if that's the same for most of you as well. Noticing how different sections of my feet are a little more fatigued, right? I don't have as much support in sandals as I have in the shoes that I wear in the winter. I'm going to shrug my shoulders up by my ears and then let my shoulders slide away. I'm going to do that a few times. I usually love to do this as a great wake up in the shoulders. Turning my head left and right, checking out my neck, my throat. The neck rotations can sometimes feel good here. I'm going to breathe in. I'm going to step this, bring the right knee down. I'm going to step the left foot way up forward. Dip deep into those hips. Draw the chest up. I'm going to be kind on my back as I lift, feeling this stretch. Exhale, hands down, stepping the back leg up. Breath in, half flat. Exhale, letting it go. Rolling my spine up. Spaciousness. Breath in and lengthen, pushing the legs down, lifting the chest up, claiming the space that's possible in my body here, and exhale, bringing my upper body forward. Space is required in my mind. I need space for new thought, new ways of thinking. I'm going to step the left leg back, walk it back quite a bit, bring the knee down. And I'm going to come up. Now, this version of a sun salute, if your knees are sensitive, may not feel that great. So maybe you would rather just step all the way up and back to plank, which is where we're going to go now. Bringing the hands down, finding my plank. I'm going to start with a hands and knees plank. Elbows shaving the ribs, lowering it down, lengthening the legs back. Notice I've brought these hands down alongside my lowest ribs, pinning the elbows, legs together. Breath in, lifting my chest. Exhale, lowering it down. Soften. Pressing my way up to hands and knees, lifting my hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good morning. All right. So if this version is good for you, we're going to keep going. If you don't want to bring the knee down, just step all the way up to the top of your mat. We're going to do this again. I'm going to switch legs though. I'm going to bring the left knee down, step the right foot up. Breath in, lifting space. Stepping the back foot up. Breath in, lift the chest, gentle rise. Exhale, letting it go. Remember, you can touch and massage yourself. This is you getting to know you. Rolling the spine up. Maybe pause in your mountain. Feel your mountain. One full salute of the sun that's rising, of the earth that's spinning, of our place in the cosmos. Breathing and lifting, so much spaciousness. Exhale, bringing the upper body down. Breath in, lifting the chest. Exhale, stepping one leg back, maybe come up into that modified warrior, or just go ahead and step to the plank, because here we're coming to join us in the plank. I'm going to step back to a full plank now. That's up to you. Breath in. Exhale, bringing the belly down. Soften your backside. Don't rush. You don't have to worry about my pace. Breath in to lift when you are ready. Exhale, lowering it down. Coming up to hands and knees. I can feel my back warming up now. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips down, dog. Deep breath. Make a sound. So having a nice, secure space where you can have full expression in your body and your sounds might be something you want to consider. Do you always want to, if you like to be outside, are you going to feel self-conscious, or are you going to self-limit yourself and not be able to just make any kind of sound that needs to come out of your body? Okay, I'm going to step up to that modified warrior again. I'm going to bring the right knee down, left foot up, breathing and lift. Where's new space? New space that we're feeling somewhere in the body. Are you over pushing? Remember what I said about that balance of overexertion or lethargy. Where's the balance in how we apply our effort? Bringing the back leg up, Lifting the chest up halfway. Soft knees, protect the back. Exhale, upper body goes. And then rolling the spine up. Lifting it up, only one more. Bringing it down, patient in your pacing. What are you connecting with? What are you appreciating about range of movement that you're feeling this morning? We're going to step the opposite leg back, bringing that knee down, or just step to plank. Lifting, feeling out new space on this side. Where is it? Is it available to you? Are we accepting and grateful for whatever amount is given to us? How about spaciousness in our breath? And hands down. I'm going to step to that modified plank once again and show a lovely way of coming down and through. It can be a little challenging too. I'm going to lower down, chin and chest touch the floor. And I'm going to lift my chin and stretch the neck a little bit more. And then rest the chin and just let some weight rest. Breath. What's the fullest breath we can have here? So look at this shape of this pose, right? All the more reason that you want a nice secure space for your home yoga practice. Unless you just don't care who sees you hanging out like this. But quite honestly, this is a really revealing space. There's a whole ton of vulnerability here. So now I'm going to slide my belly forward. I got a nice stretch in the upper back, upper chest, and the chin and throat. Lift the chest, Cobra. Notice I'm going to keep the gaze down. Fill up my tummy, relax my buttocks, spaciousness, and child's pose. Ooh. Now, a wonderful counter to child's pose. Child's pose is balasana. A wonderful counter can be, and some of you might need to put a block or a rolled up towel or blanket here. I'm going to bring my hands to my ankles or shins, hanging on here while I scratch a little mosquito bite. I'm going to bring my head down to the floor, or it could be on a rolled up blanket or a block. And start to very slowly, mindfully lift the butt up a bit. Pulling the shoulders up and off of my neck. Relaxing my face and observing the space being stretched and created in my upper back and upper neck. Can I invite some patience and feel the sensations, feel the process of space being created. And I'll bring my hips down. Coming up to sitting, I'm going to bring my left hand in between my shoulder blades. I like to try to walk them down the back as much as I can, like I'm scratching an itch. Aiming that elbow straight up. Working the arm on the other side. Rotating. And then I'll find this elbow encouraging this hand to slide down. Breath in. Breath out. And get ready for the other side. Okay? I'll bring this hand here. Working this arm. Rotating it. That shoulder socket. Some of you know I complain about it enough. I have an old injury inside of this right rotator cuff. And I feel like I'm getting that old lady syndrome where, oh, with the weather, right? We've been having all that rain going on lately. So, oh, that shoulder has definitely been talking. Breathe in. Breathe out. And I'm going to release those arms. I'm going to come up to standing and get ready to do a little bit more with my legs and my hips. Stepping this right leg forward, baby toe edge of this left foot down, hips opening, warrior two. Now, if you're accustomed to a flowing practice, make your practice be a flowing practice. Oftentimes in my home practice, I might do a few sun salutations to be my flow, and then otherwise, really everything is like a check-in and a check-up, right? This is a hip check-up and a check-in. Thighs, muscles, how many muscles have I been working a lot? How spacious am I feeling? Bringing my mind into it. And I'll straighten and bend. Straighten. I want to reverse some spaciousness. Talk about feeling spaciousness all along the front of us. Now invest in your root. You've got to push that right foot down. Squeeze the muscles of this right leg. Send the hips forward. And breathe. I'm softening around the spaces that are arguing. Because basically the argument was, that's too much, too fast, Belinda. So I'm like, okay, you're right. I don't have to be in a hurry. I'm in no hurry. No hurry. And even just letting that sink into us, that unto itself, no hurry, gives us space, right? Space to slow down, space to reflect, space to savor. So now I'm going to switch to the other side. So I'm going to spin on that foot, spin on this foot. That manduka that I've got is real grippy, so there's no sliding. I'm going to bend into here. So yeah, as we're talking about our space, think about the amount of light that you like. Some people like things to be a little more dim. I'm always going to want some open and natural light in my space. I want to be able to have the fullest range of my arms and my leg width, okay? So some of you people are bigger, taller people. I can make do with some smaller, more compact spaces. 5 foot tall right here. All right, my check-in on this side. I want to flow in these hips. Shoulders are soft. As you start to grow your practice, maybe you want to be in this space a little longer. Remember that these videos and this time together is just meant to give you some tips and some guidance for your own exploration. And this is a good starter, right, to do for your day. But hopefully you're all finding some time. It can be a half hour, it can be 40 minutes, where you're not listening to anyone else tell you anything to be doing in your body. And you're incorporating all of these elements and guiding yourself through on your own into your practice, into what your inner realm wants to tell you. Maybe it's been screaming for a long time and it's like, oh my goodness, you're finally listening to me. And then you cultivate a relationship. We don't just like have one session and go, oh, heard my body talk to me. I'm good for another year. And some people, quite honestly, that is where they go. But if we can start to cultivate that relationship, get to know the body, we grow, right? The body starts to gain some confidence to talk to us. The breath starts to get some confidence to talk to us. We actually get more patient and mindful and caring to listen as far as our mental body. I'm going to bring my hands behind me. You see I brought the feet to a more neutral space. I'm going to soften those knees. I want to protect these knee joints. They're the only ones I get on the planet. I have no plans of any replacement parts. That's how I work inside of my body as I move. So I bend these knees a little, send the wrists down, open the chest, hips forward, chest upward, and breathe. Space. And I'll be quite honest, my low back is saying, nope, no space there. But the front of my chest says, I could give you a little bit here. I'm like, okay, cool. Neck. And when you're ready, you could bring the arms with you or no. Knees soft. I moved really gently because that low back is still pretty achy for me. What's the depth of your breath? I'll release the arms. I'm going to bring the hands down on the floor beneath me. Actually, I'm going to bring a block down. I'm going to bring my left hand to the block, my spine nice and flat and parallel with the earth, and twist. One of the juicier twists that I like. Now, I've got my left hand down, so I'm going to pull the left hip up. Try not to let it carry with me. And as I'm driving that left arm down to give me the torque, T-O-R-Q-U-E, the torque, I want to just see if I can move from the middle of me and not from the shoulders. Soften those shoulders. Maybe bring that top hand to your low back. Some can wrap that arm around. Now, remember what I did when we did like that half cow, where we brought the hand in between the shoulder blades behind us. You can do a slow circle with that extended arm and flip the palm up to the ceiling. That's going to open up that shoulder and just see its range to wrap around. Maybe swing it up and around again. Again, we're training, practicing, getting the body to be familiar with ranges, or call it an inquiry. Every time we do it, it's a new inquiry. Hey, do you want to move this way? Oh, and I got more space as my body got more familiar. Breath. And then release. There is no instant button, right? No instant new range of movement. Oh, upper body is hanging. Now, I think that feels good to bring both of my hands around my ears and the sides of my head. And I just let the weight of my arms hang with every exhale, encouraging my upper body to hang, letting space happen. Letting go of the notion that I'm in charge of anything or that I create the space. The space is there. Can I let it happen? What are we afraid of? What's going to happen if we let the space happen? I'm going to let the arms go one more time to get ready for the twist on the other side. I'm using the block here. And I've got my hands, my right hand, rooting down. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to revolve, pull that left hip up. Don't let it twist with my body. I love spending time in twists in a gradual manner, feeling the coiling and feeling all of the subtle different engagements and releases, because it's a huge process of collaboration, coordination. Oh, I'm going to work this. Ooh. So I say it's my left because it is my right shoulder, and that is the shoulder socket that I say, I've got my problems with. So I'm going to play with that range. And I know it does not have the range as the other side. But this little swimming movement, remember to rotate the upper arm. So I took a spill in a river and stiff-armed the fall with this right arm. That was about 2002 on the border of Texas and Oklahoma fly fishing. I've also had some serious falls on this arm in rugby. So I have not been nice to my body in my life. I'm going to bring the arms down. I'm going to set my block aside and come on down to our knees. And I'm going to turn to show you. I'm just going to keep these toes tucked. Right? And then as best we can, see if you can bring that upper body weight back. Remember I said I've been wearing these sandals and my feet have been like, a little mad. I'm just kind of saying, let's stretch it out a little bit. Can I encourage space in between these itty bitty bones of the toes, the metatarsals? I have such massive respect of our feet and what they're able to do considering their construction, right? They're kind of teeny to carry the load, the literal and figurative load of all that we're carrying around. I'm going to come on down off of those feet. Work the hips in another way. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Mandy. We're going to hold, press out, do your sphincter squeeze, and lift the chest, pressing those inner thighs out. And relax. And let's do that again. We'll squeeze and relax. And again, squeeze and relax. Good. And we'll come forward and bring the chest up. Now don't force anything. So Mandy, that sphincter or that kind of Kegel is one thing that you may want to start to do. Let's not do anything with you where you're going to do any kind of bearing down. Okay, I'd like you to feel about bearing up. So when we come back up, squeeze from that sphincter or that Kegel hold. And now let's engage the belly muscles as though you're just getting ready for a punch in the gut, not sucking it in. Let's start to really have a good distinction between them. Wrap all around, chest is up, neck rotation. See if we can continue to do this. It definitely starts to bring our awareness to our interior space as you feel and visualize the muscles that are squeezing. Depending on the genitalia that you have, you may be feeling kind of a uterine, a really high up vaginal area that's contracting. I can only reflect that back to you or refer that back to you because that's the equipment I've got. I can't describe any other kind of equipment other than the sphincter because I think we all have that. So that's why I also use that as an engaged space. Let's change that around. So we can squeeze in around that sphincter like you're tightening around your own finger. Squeeze. And then feel and visualize what's the interior muscles doing. How far up your spine and your abdomen can you feel that engagement? So do those occasionally now and again. That's particularly for Mandy, for her question. And then we'll pull the chest forward. Once you get where you're going, you can engage and relax. Engage and relax. Shoulders soft. Engage and relax. And then we'll bring the chest up. Mandy, you may also want to stay away from any intense back bends until you've got a lot more zipping up in that area. All right, we're going to come down to lying down. Let's go ahead and grab our strap before, if it's close by. If you already laid down, sorry. Now, again, what I said about that spaciousness is that I want to have positioning so that I've got a whole range for my body, right? So I just went ahead and checked and realized in the future I'll move these mats around in a different way so that then I don't have to move anything. Once I've arrived on my space, it's ready for me and I'm ready for it. So these are other things that we can start to consider as we're creating that home yoga space. And if it means that you want an aromatherapy diffuser, go ahead. Is it required? No. Do you need a Buddha statue? No, because the Buddha statue and yoga, they're not combined. Buddhism and yoga are not the same. So, no. You don't even need a yoga mat. You could lay down those little interlock floorings and call that good. You could just lay down on a rug, whatever's good. It's your space. Whatever makes you most comfortable. I'm going to bring the strap. I'm going to bring my left leg up and bring the strap to the bottom of that left leg. Now I'm going to turn this way in hopes that you can see the leg. Amanda, you're doing yoga in a hammock? I don't know how that works out, sister. All right, so you can see this leg, hopefully. Now I'm going to do this turning, this rotating of this thigh, side to side. I call it turning the key in the lock. And then feel what you're feeling. Amanda, I am not space shaming you. So if that is where you are, honey, and you can connect to you and nature and your mind, hammock yoga, so be it. So after we felt out that joint, space, range, we can let that leg fall open. To whatever degree it'll fall open. Now, some of us may prefer to put a pillow under that extended leg to give it some support, okay? Start to notice if your mind is saying, oh, this needs to get to a certain space. Nope. We're here to meet ourselves where we are. Make space for that in your mind. Invite that. Find contentment with that. And notice what gets to change in the muscles and the bones as we create space around even the idea of movement. And we'll bring this leg back up. I'm going to let my strap go. I'm going to find a half happy baby here. So I'm going to bring this hand either behind the knee, pulling that leg down, or up on the foot, pulling that knee toward the armpit space. Remembering to give ourselves some nice self-squishy love touch. I'm going to bring this knee into my chest. I'm going to roll over onto that right hip for a spinal twist. Now come on back up to center. Hug that knee into the chest. And I'll bring my forehead up. and release that down. All right, so I'm gonna scooch back and get my strap on the other leg. And we'll do that turning of the key. Oh, yeah. Ah, noticing different aspects and different ranges and segments in different muscles in the back of that leg. And we'll allow that leg to fall open when we're ready, maybe preparing for some support for it. This is a great location for a little bit of self-massage, especially along in the groin and the pelvis. I like to engage muscles and relax and engage muscles and relax and just notice, oh, what's going on? Oh, that's holding me secure. Or, ooh, when that squeezes, ooh, that area in the groin is a little angry. And that you can notice areas that are tight or angry, as I like to say, and it not mean that there's something that needs to be fixed. And at the same time, you could feel a sensation that goes, I think I want to get that checked out, right? This is increasing our awareness of how we're living in this vessel. And we're doing that check-in and that check-up. And once we're aware of something that maybe feels off or that isn't a natural part of your flow, and then you have more information to go and share with whoever is your health practitioner, your medical practitioner, your guide. And you have to say, hey, what's going on here? We'll bring this leg up when we're ready. I'm going to set my strap aside and invite myself for a half happy baby here. So you could bring that hand behind the knee joint. You could use the hand at the foot. This is a viable space for a strap too on the foot, pulling that knee down in that direction. Ooh, actually, I just discovered a new fun. Oh, yeah, that's fun. Space in the hips. Space in how revealing we are. I also really encourage that your home practice space be well ventilated. Thinking about that spaciousness of air. Does your space breathe? How can we expect ourselves to breathe if our space doesn't breathe? Now I'm going to come on over for that. Oh, that spinal twist. Breathing in. Letting that space arrive and seep in. Invite space in our mental space, our mental body, where we hear our thoughts about ourselves, where we are busiest in our mental flexing. Is there space? Or are the mental thoughts colliding, jammed in there? A distancing. We need distancing for our thoughts. Yes. You choose the amount of distance. It doesn't have to be 6 feet. Maybe could you task yourselves with 2 days of space between you sitting and harboring on that one thought that's always been in your head? All right, maybe a day. 2 days might be a bit much. We got to start off simple. And we'll gradually come on back to center. Feel the spine. Ooh, acclimating to a more neutral space. Pulling those knees in. And I'll send the legs up toward the ceiling for Viparita Karani. Resting the shoulders, relaxing them. Now for Mandy, this is a wonderful space, positioning, for us to just have this space and start to squeeze and contract the belly and do that Mula Bandha again and relax and squeeze and relax. All of us can do it, but it is particularly good for really just tightening up in that area in a way that isn't going to compromise it either or overstrain it. Do continue to involve the pelvic floor portion, however. Now, we could also have these legs up the wall. So I like to get my hip pressing against the wall first. And now I've got my butt against the baseboard. My legs are up the wall. And then here we can continue to do that core activation and that bandha. Bandha means energy lock. So that sphincter squeezing or that kegel. When you're done doing work in that area, just stay here and just stop squeezing things and just hang out. Letting the space between thoughts arrive eventually. Apply some patience to the arrival of space between thoughts. Soften the grip on the inner thighs and the knees. Let your mind's eye visualize space between your cells in your body. The cells in your tissues. Space between the molecules in your fluids. Space in your bones. Feel how porous they are. How free and easy can we breathe? Softening the back of our throat, our palate, our tongue. And we can reach and stretch if we like. Point and flex the toes, working the ankles. Just a way of waking up the body. I'm going to open the legs wide one more time, but this time I'm lying on my back. And just feel this spaciousness in the hips without the weight bearing. Noticing how my hips are much more happy to accept this breath, this opening, without also having to be strong and tense in the opening. One more bandha, squeezing in the kegel, in the sphincter. feeling the muscles engage, maybe even using my fingers to press into my abdomen as I engage and relax and engage and relax, and I can feel, wow, okay, that tightened and became more solid and firm. Oh, and then it relaxed and tightened. Good. And then I'll invite us to come upright, maybe back with your back up against the wall. Sitting in whatever way is comfortable. If you're working on more cross-legged things, you can be going from crisscross applesauce to Sukhasana, in front of shin, or perhaps your hips and your knee joints are agreeable to starting to come up toward Lotus, heel toward the hip bone. And I'm going to do a half Lotus because I usually have this leg on top, and I'm just going to hang here because, my hip said, hey, I haven't had that balance. I invite us to have a moment of just some quiet stillness, wakeful and mindful stillness. Noticing and observing what got awakened and stimulated within us in our practice. About our physical being, about our mental beings and doings. What did we make space for? What did we let go in order to create space somewhere, physically, breath-wise, mentally, spiritually? Hands to our heart center. I'll close with the sharing of a mantra of Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. So, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings be free from suffering and the true causes of suffering, including myself. And may all beings know happiness and the true causes of happiness, including myself. Namaste, everyone. Thank you all so very much for joining with our home yoga practice live. If you've enjoyed this or any of our other videos, please feel free to drop a couple of coins in our bucket, our proverbial virtual bucket at paypal.me/justbeyoga.com. Be on the lookout for a new Just Be Yoga website, hopefully launched, if not later today, by tomorrow morning. Also, check it out on an event on our Facebook page. We have a workshop coming up this weekend, but it has limited space. But it's about balancing workshops. So we're going to work on balancing postures, talk about other aspects of balancing that work inside of our mind and our mental being. So if you're interested at all, please check that out on our event page and check out all of our videos on our Facebook playlists and our YouTube playlist. It's been great to have you all want to join and create your own home yoga practice. Namaste.